has been more than 3 weeks since the U.S. and Israel launched military action against Iran. And the day before it started, the administration designated Iran as a state sponsor of wrongful detention. Joining us live now, Dr. Parmiz Khatibi, the chairwoman of Serve Iran. Dr. Khatibi, good morning. Thank you for your time today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, Shally.
Are there Americans, U.S. citizens, being held in Iran right now?
Absolutely, there are. And let me just go back and, as you mentioned, Iran being designated as a state sponsor of wrongful detention and why that is important. Iran is the first country to be designated under this new executive authority, and that allows us now to impose penalties against them for wrongfully detaining Americans for political purposes. This designation of a state sponsor of wrongful detention is really in recognition of the fact that Iran has been engaging in hostage diplomacy since the 1979 revolution. And to your answer, yes, overall, for perspective, there are about 41 publicly disclosed hostages and wrongful detention cases in the world. The U.S. government has identified at least 6 Americans as wrongfully detained in Iran, and there is a priority to get them back home to the U.S. safe and sound.
What do we know, Dr. Khatibi, about these particular Americans who are being held right now? What happened?
Well, what we know is that when the U.S. government designates a wrongful detainee, they are communicating to the family and everyone else that the U.S. government will take care of them because they are innocent, and the only reason that they were taken was because they have a blue passport. So the group of 6 Americans includes Kamran Hekmati. He's a jeweler and a jewelry store owner from New York. His family believes that he was targeted because he's both American and Jewish. There's also journalist Reza Valizadeh. He's been designated as a wrongful detainee since last year. So these Americans in Iran remain a greater risk. I am in touch with the nonprofit organization Global Reach, which is helping the family of Kamran Hekmati at no charge. We know that the president will do everything he can to bring these wrongfully detained Americans home to the U.S.
Speaking of the president, what action in particular are you hoping that the Trump administration can take, especially given all that's happening right now, to bring these Americans home?
Well, President Trump has made it a priority in his administration to bring home Americans held abroad, and his success actually has been nothing short of miraculous. He has brought Americans held hostage abroad faster back home than any other U.S. president, and he's brought more Americans home than any other president to history. To date, in the past about 14 months, his administration has brought home at least 91 Americans that were held hostage or wrongfully detained abroad. So we really applaud President Trump and his administration for prioritizing the release of Americans held captive abroad. Because don't forget, Shally, we've seen the firsthand impact of hostage taking and wrongful detention that has on these families, and the threat that it also poses to our national security.
Speaking of national security, we know, Dr. Khatibi, in the news, we've been talking about that there's many that believe this is not a war that the United States should have gotten involved in. And just yesterday, we covered the breaking news about Joe Kent, the former counterterrorism chief, saying that Iran posed no imminent threat. What do you say to those who believe this was not a war that the U.S. should have been involved with?
Yeah. So let's remember that the Islamic Republic of Iran has been at war with the U.S. for the past 47 years. We finally have a president who is strong enough and using strength to combat that and finish that war that was started by the Islamic regime of Iran back 47 years ago.
Tomorrow, as you and I both know, is Nowruz. It is the Persian New Year. This is usually a very joyous holiday. It marks the beginning of spring. It's really taken a different meaning for the community, not only the diaspora here, those in Iran who, by the way, we should again say, have not had internet in almost 3 weeks. They've been in a blackout. What does this particular holiday mean for Iranians all around the world?
Well, I think it takes on different meanings at different times. And I think today, for Iranians and those of Iranian descent around the world, it symbolizes resilience. And when we talk about resilience around Nowruz, I think we're talking about people holding on to the idea that every person deserves dignity, they deserve freedom, and they deserve a say in their future, and refusing to let that idea go away. And at the time when so many Iranians have faced repression and loss, resilience means continuing to show up. We show up for each other, we show up for our culture, and for those fundamental freedoms that so many are still striving for.
And people like you are showing up for these Americans who are currently detained in Iran as well. Dr. Khatibi, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you kindly.